Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Shrewcast. Today, I am your host, Caitlin, and I am joined by my amazing co-host, Riley. Hello, Riley. How are you?
Hello, how are we doing?
I like how the second you started talking, your audio became the choppiest thing in existence.
Nice, I like it.
I
Oh, we've
love it.
already got hello, Stone Cold Ronin 20. How
Hello,
are
hello,
you doing?
hello.
We're gonna be we're doing like a little podcast kind of thing.
No, we're recording a podcast. We're just also live.
We're also like we're doing a bit of both,
All right.
but don't mind joining in on
So,
the conversation.
Riley,
Kate,
welcome to the podcast. Welcome aboard. You're the newest recruit. It's also the first episode. I'm also the newest recruit.
nice, just the way I like it.
Right. So things on this podcast are going to be a bit different than most other people. I'm going to give you two ideas or two topics that we can talk about. And the topic you pick today will be the topic that we talk about today, and the second topic will be the one that we talk about next week. So that way, if folks are interested in both topics, they get an episode about each.
Alrighty.
And today you have two options. You have wacky weapons of World War II, or early tanks and why they sucked.
I will choose wacky weapons of World War II.
Wacky weapons of World War II. Well, I'm glad you said that because that's the one I have pulled up. It would have taken me a while to pull up early tanks. So that will be next week's idea. And I'm going to cross wacky weapons of World War II off the ideas list.
Gotcha.
All right. So I am going to present you with a file full of images, and I want you to look through the images, pick one, and for those of you who are audio listeners, these will all be posted on the YouTube channel, so you can go and look for them, as well as on the Instagram, and you can swipe through. So, let me get that file pulled up for you, Riley.
Also, to anybody who doesn't know, we're watching Caitlin's.
Yes, this is my screen. Okay, take a pick, any pick. Any of these images interest you? Hang on, let me make this a little bigger. Yeah. That's as large as it gets, really? There we go, extra large.
Okay.
Grandma size.
I want the wheel.
You want the wheel. Wheel of death. Okay, so let's talk about the wheel. So what is this wacky wheel? I want you to take a guess and tell me what you think it does.
Well, for some reason, I'm getting the feel that this is like, those look like either mortar cannons, but I'm also assuming I'm wrong. So the wheel, the inner part of the wheel shouldn't have a gun. I'm assuming whatever the gun part is, it's those weird tubes attached to the wheel. That's about all I'm getting. What's up? Just a sec.
This is why we film this podcast live, so you can witness the live interruption.
Oh, me and Caitlin were gonna do like a little podcast thing, and this is one of the first topics. Anyways.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We were thinking of going to Uncle Jim's.
Okay.
Is Jasmine actually coming?
She thinks that's the only day she has off, so she's thinking about coming.
I'm gonna go ahead and mute Riley for you folks at home, and I want you guys to just take a second and look at this. Actually, no, I'm just gonna take a break during this. Don't leave this in.
Getting his health situation, so
what's wrong with him?
There's a chance that he's gonna have liver failure. Yep.
I didn't know that. Okay, so it's a maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. Did you tell her about the Sunday after Thanksgiving?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I did, but she says she's working that day, so at the very least she'll be able to visit. I don't know about actually be there.
Okay.
Gotcha. Alrighty, sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. Are you ready?
Unforeseen events. Let's go back here. I gotta notify Caitlin. That is the wheel of death that is supposed to explode. Those things on the wheels are rockets, but the whole wheel of death is not very effective. Oh, we've got an expert here.
Oh yeah, I was about to say. I thought you like looked it up on Wikipedia. I was like, you asshole! I'm supposed to be teaching you. Also, chat.
Yeah.
No, you can't spoil it. Don't spoil it, chat.
Also, sorry about that. I forgot to mute myself on Discord.
No, you're fine. I muted you on the recording, and I'm just gonna cut it out anyway.
Alright. Yeah, I figured.
But yeah, so thank you, chat, for spoiling it. But yes, this was a rocket-propelled explosive cart designed by the British military in World War II. Essentially, the idea was that you would get this thing on the beach, you would ignite it, the rockets would push it towards a bunker or a trench. It would explode on the trench and, do a bunch of damage, wipe out a bunch of people, probably clear the path for tanks. But the project, of course, failed because, it's a rocket-propelled tube. Like, you can't, it's a wagon wheel. You can't do much with that. It was a pretty ingenious design, but I actually think during one of they filmed these tests for what it also, this is called the Pangendrum. But they filmed one of the tests for the Pangendrum, and it started swerving and went towards the camera people.
Oh, jeez.
Because so these things are also being pushed through sand, and again, a wagon wheel in sand isn't a very good idea. And if it's even slightly bent or damaged from getting dropped onto that beach, it's just gonna throw itself off in the sand. So yeah, this was not a very good not a very good weapon of World War II, but it is wacky and weird, so that's why it's in the list.
Very wacky and weird indeed.
Indeed.
I feel like they have the right idea, but the wrong execution.
Exactly. Okay, is there anything else that catches your eye?
What catches my eye is the floppy dick AK. If it's not
Oh
called
my
that,
god, it is not called that. Just for reference, it is not called that. So I want you to take a guess at what this does. And chat, no spoiling at this time. No spoilers. I actually want Riley to learn about this.
Well, I see the thing at the end of the barrel there, which I'm assuming is to help him see at a different angle. So I'm kind of assuming that it was made for the trenches, and the idea was that you didn't have to peek your head over. You could kind of just, like, partially peek your head over, I'm assuming.
Yeah, actually, that is almost exactly right. Yeah. So this is an STG-44. It is what inspired the design of the AK. Yes. But yeah, it is called the. I'm probably gonna butcher this, but the Krumlauf, which is German. Obviously, the STG-44 was German, but as you can see, these barrels got pretty crazy. So this one is at a 90-degree angle to the right, I believe. The one in the picture is one that's going up. It was also used in turrets that were put in the ground. But yeah, so the Krumlauf, or in English, the curved barrel, is a bent barrel attachment for the Sturmgewehr 44 rifle developed by Germany in World War II. The curved barrel included a periscope sighting device for shooting around corners from a safe position. So yeah, you had it right.
Yeah, I kind of figured. But okay, so my question is now, how well did it shoot? Because
I believe it worked really well. The only issue was that the the SCG-44, like, they could just make better machine guns for tanks. Like, I think it worked just fine. Approximately 300 rounds for the 30-round version. Another problem besides the short lifespan was that the bending caused the bullets to shatter and exit the bullets in multiple fragments. Okay, yeah. So this was the one that did not do good. An unintended shotgun effect.
Still, shotgun effect's pretty handy.
Yeah.
The chat says that STG-44, good old German ingenuity. It worked pretty good, but it wasn't very accurate.
You are right about the SCG-44. Okay, so that's those two out of the way. Is there anything else that catches your eye?
I gotta go with. I want to go with the tiny pistol. just
Tiny
because.
pistol.
Might as
Okay,
well
so
go
this
with
one actually has a bit of a story behind it. Can you guess any? Or like, first I want you to tell me what you think it is and what you think it does, and then I want you to try to guess the story, but I really doubt you'll be able to guess it.
Okay, well, obviously it's a pistol.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm definitely not gonna get the name. But I'd say it would be used for assassination attempts. Hence the small. It looks like it might be a 22 caliber, maybe.
Close.
Close. Okay, probably a bit smaller. Um, looks like it's got a clip, so maybe it might have a clip. So I want to say it might be semi-automatic. Oh wait. Oh please, not that thing. Apparently, chat's got a bit of knowledge about some of these guns, Caitlin.
Yes, and thank you, chat, for being knowledgeable. But again, no spoilers. Okay.
Yeah. I'm
So
gonna. I
you were actually pretty close with what this thing was used for. This is the FP-45 Liberator. And any of you history buffs probably know what this is. So essentially, the FP-45 Liberator was a pistol manufactured by the United States military during World War II. And what would happen is these were these were dropped out of the sky by the U.S. military, yes, in occupied areas of Europe. And yeah, so the FP-45 was a crude, single-shot pistol designed to be cheaply and quickly mass-produced.
But it was 45.
Yeah, it was 45 ACP, and an unrifled barrel. And so basically, what it was supposed to be is you would walk up to a German soldier, you would shoot them in the back of the head, you would take their gun and use it. Yeah, so as you can see, it says the Liberator was shipped in a cardboard box with 10 rounds of 45 ACP ammunition, a wooden dowel to remove the empty cartridge case, and an instruction sheet in comic strip form showing how to load and fire the weapon. Yeah, an insurgency weapon to be mass dropped behind enemy lines to resistant fighters in occupied territory. The resistant fighter was to recover the gun, sneak up on an Axis occupier, kill or incapacitate him, and retrieve his weapons.
Did it really help with the warfight, or was it kind of like it was kind of caused a bit of insurrection?
French use of the FP-45 remains undocumented. So yeah, there's that he claimed there were thousands in circulation in occupied France. So yeah, I have a feeling they probably helped, but not as much as you would think.
Yeah,
it was probably only credited for like 2 or 3 kills, but there was a lot of them made, so it's not necessarily rare. Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of the one gun from, is it Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 5? It's like the tiniest.
The Calibri, the Battlefield 1, yes.
And then, like the way they pick it up and put it in their hand.
Right.
Although that's got to be a smaller caliber.
Calibri is like .0. It's some ridiculous cal. It's like .038 or something like that. Some crazy cal.
Also, chat says the downfall with that, it wasn't very accurate, and you could only load 1 bullet at a time. Okay, so I was wrong with the semi-auto.
Yeah. So it wasn't very accurate, but at the same time, I mean, it was literally like a 2-inch unrifled barrel with a 45 ACP, which is already an inaccurate round. Yeah. So ballistic, it was never meant to be a good ballistics pistol. It was meant to, it was literally meant to kill someone so you could take his guns.
Yeah. Alrighty. This next one I want to choose because I just noticed it. The one with the extra large magazine.
This one here?
Yeah.
This one is actually very unique, and again, I want you to take a guess as to what it was for and what it does.
That's not the bullet that was used for that, was it?
It is.
Ooh, okay, so it kind of looks like an AK-47, but a little bit different.
That is correct.
I'm assuming this is an experimental gun.
No, it is not. It saw service.
Really?
It still sees service.
Really? Okay. Well, then I'm guessing it has something to do with the special type of bullet. Was it a kind of like a needler gun?
Close.
Close. Okay. But I'm guessing it was used for special occasions because of the rare, like the. I imagine the bullet wouldn't be easy to design. It also looks a little wonky at best. Okay, I'm curious now.
Okay,
But that's one gun I haven't seen yet, according to Scott.
so
Okay, this is
okay,
something for us
good,
all.
good, good, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is an actual learning experience for everyone. Okay, so this is the Russian APS underwater rifle. I'm not even going to try to pronounce what that is because it's Russian and I do not speak Russian. Yeah, or Special Underwater Assault Rifle. So yeah, this is an underwater firearm designed by the Soviet Union in the 70s, and it was given to their frogmen, to Russian frogmen. And it still sees use. It still sees use to this day. Yeah, 1975 to present. Yeah.
Chat says, of course, it's made in Russia.
Yeah, no, this was essentially, and it can fire outside of the water. It's just not as lethal.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so the APS is more powerful than a pistol, but is bulkier, heavier, takes longer to aim, particularly swinging its long barrel and flat magazine. Yeah, that big magazine basically just acts like a giant paddle. So you would have to turn the gun 90 degrees, turn, and then try to rotate it back up. But again, that magazine is like a paddle.
I see. So is the bullet designed the way it is to act kind of like a harpoon almost?
Yeah. So it's made in that needle design to travel through the water at super high velocities. Basically, velocities high enough to be able to penetrate like an oxygen cable or an oxygen tank, because presumably this would be used by Soviet frogmen to take out American frogmen.
Gotcha. All right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's that one, and yeah, again, that is a very unique weapon that you don't see often. You really don't.
Yeah. Okay, of course I gotta do the pistol glove or
The glove pistol. All right. So first off, I mean, it's pretty obvious what this is, but I want you to guess if you can tell me how it works.
Well, okay. I'm assuming that's not two barrels, I want to say, but I could be wrong. Maybe the weird thing in the other barrel is just something for you to stick the bullet down into. Obviously, that's got to be the hammer at the very back of it. Um, but if that's not a barrel, then it's one barreled, and that other barrel-looking thing has something to do with. I don't know. This one's a weird one. Why does that look like it's from Assassin's Creed? Set by chat. That does kind of look like it'd be something from Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it does. It does actually.
Okay. This is my best guesses.
So to be fair, you were actually really close. So yeah, back here is the hammer. It is a single shot, pistol. But the interesting bit is that this piece here, this extra barrel bit, that's the trigger.
Really?
Because what it was intended for punching someone and it would kill them.
Oh.
So inside here, so let me let's open up the Wikipedia page just so I know that I'm not messing up. But yeah, this is the Sedgley or Sedgley OSS.38. So yeah, it was World War II, obviously. But it was used by the U.S. Marines and the U.S. Navy, and its official designation in the U.S. Navy was hand-firing mechanism Mark II. But yeah, so it was 38 caliber, and essentially, yeah, you would walk up to somebody, and yeah, covert operations and assassination weapon, and then you would basically, it's a hide in a coat until the weapon is used. The trigger is a bar parallel. After being locked and coated, the weapon is fired by the shooter making a fist and pressing the trigger against the target's body.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty interesting.
And only 200 of them were manufactured.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you said that was the trigger, I thought it was gonna be like a Spider-Man thing, and you had to
reach over and pull the trigger.
Yeah.
That would be so awkward. Oh god. But yeah, no. So this was an assassination weapon. I don't think that. Yeah. So it was used in some films, but I don't think that it was ever actually deployed. And if it was probably like some top secret stuff we will hear about when we're like 90.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is the Sedgley OSS 38 cal pistol.
Cat says talking about lead a fist.
Yeah. I mean, this.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
I think that it would be really interesting if they flipped the design around to where it was on the inside of the glove, and maybe you just had to like, maybe it was like it aligned with your index finger or something, or like if you could like pull your index finger underneath it and point the barrel up slightly to then pull the trigger.
It could be like an actual finger gun.
Yeah, and you could fit like a small magazine inside that because it would be in the palm of your hand. And then as long as you just had your hand extended, you could hide that in like a coat pocket or something and then just pull out and just bang, bang, and shoot somebody. I don't know.
Or they could do like
Probably shouldn't be talking about assassination attempts live on Twitch.
Or they could do like the Deadeye from DC and just have the gun on his like his forearm. You know,
oh yeah.
Automatic.
Okay. Is there anything else that interests you? You've gone through actually a surprising amount. I honestly didn't think we would get through these this fast.
Yeah, let's see. Let's do the one that kind of looks like it wants to be a bazooka, but it ain't.
Okay, so obviously you kind of get the general gist of what this does, but can you give me any guesses?
Oh, so it is a bit of a bazooka. Okay. It kind of. So obviously it's got not a bipod, but pod.
A monopod.
Yeah, monopod. I'm assuming that it was meant for taking out tanks, like most are like weapons like that. Some sort of armored vehicle.
That is correct, yes.
That is correct, okay. And that maybe it was used like during trench warfare when you saw a tank coming over, they just put that up on there quick and shoot the tank. But I don't get why it's a wonky one, other than like where the I guess missile's not the right word, but rocket looks a little funky because like half the barrel's missing.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna let you take lead now. Also, wait, the trigger looks wait. How small is this? How like is this really big or really small?
That trigger is like the size of a hand, yes, and I will explain why later.
Okay. Yeah, because I just realized like, wait, that looks massive.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is the American Piat. I'm sorry, Wikipedia, I need to close that right now. The Projector Infantry Anti-Tank, or Piat Mark I, was a British man-portable anti-tank weapon developed during the Second World War. So essentially... So what this does is it is essentially a car spring that launches a 2.5-pound shape charge bomb, using a cartridge in the tail of the projectile. So this thing literally was just a shape charge and a spring. And you would just boom, and it would hit a tank and blow up.
Wow.
Yeah, it had no backblast, which might reveal the position of the user or accidentally injure friendly soldiers, because again, it was just a spring and a small cartridge, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, powerful recoil, difficulty in cocking the weapon.
I imagine.
But yeah, so the Piat is really interesting. It is seen, I mean, honestly, yeah, so it's seen a lot of combat. This thing did. Yeah. These are pretty common. Like this was your early anti-tank weaponry back in the day.
Dang.
All right. What's next?
Let's do the revolver that's trying to become a laser gun.
So this is not a revolver, actually. I want you to try to guess what this is.
Single shot shotgun?
No.
Really?
Yes.
The barrel looks like it should be for a shotgun. Okay.
Well, first off, aside from these bits, because there are obviously modifications, I want you to tell me what this is.
Well, some sort of pistol. I want to say it's for a pretty high caliber, though.
Nope.
Really? Well,
Yep.
it's a single shot.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty obvious.
I will tell you this, it's not normally used in combat.
Wait, is it a flare gun?
It is.
Really? And they gave it all those modifications?
Well, in a minute you'll see why they gave it all the modifications. But first I want you to take a guess as to what would you need all of this crazy stuff for on a friggin' flare gun?
Maybe they gave it a modification so it's not just a flare gun, it's some sort of explosive or incinerator? Maybe? That's what I would say.
Wow, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. You nailed that. So this is the German Sturmpistole, which was an attempt by Germany during World War II to create a multi-purpose weapon which could be used by any infantryman. It consisted of a modified flare gun, the Luchtpistole, which could fire a variety of grenades, including a 600-gram or 1 pound 5 ounce shape charge, which could penetrate 80 millimeters of rolled armor. The idea was not pursued wholeheartedly, however, and ended up just using anti-tank rifles, which was a much better idea, and then eventually onto the Panzerfaust and Panzerschreck. But yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. I want to get one just to try it.
Yeah, no, so it's honestly actually pretty cool. I've seen somebody, they had like it's not quite a prop, but it's like they had a working version, but the grenade obviously wasn't a real live grenade. It was a dummy, and then they had like, I think it was like a knockoff. It was a replica. That's the word I'm looking for. Like, it wasn't actually a fire, like it didn't even fire as a flare gun. It would just launch the dummy grenade. But yeah, it's honestly pretty cool to see. Yeah. I am really curious because in this design, it doesn't have that top-mounted thing, and that's a very different grenade. That's just a regular German stick grenade, it looks like.
A smoke grenade?
No, that wouldn't be a smoke grenade. Oh, here we go. It was probably one of these.
The multi-star cartridge?
Yeah, probably.
That grenade or something else.
Look at that. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is really... Goodness, excuse me. It is very interesting, though, to see, like, this kind of stuff. Can I... Yeah, okay, I can move around. But, like, the scratches in the metal, like, from just it being taken in and out of its holster so many times, or, like, being roughed around in storage. Mm-hmm. The bluing of the barrel. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Chat says sometimes they would put stick grenades into the gun.
I'd believe that.
Yeah.
Actually, that's one that we'll actually just look up real quick. American grenade rifle, World War II. This is one that might interest you. The M9 grenade rifle. Look at this thing.
Oh.
Look at that.
There was there was the gun show and fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Someone had that, like, the French version of that.
Yeah. So this is so an M9 rifle grenade. I think it fits onto the... Oh, that's cool. The M10 evolved into a rocket-propelled munition known as the bazooka. So this was the first bazooka. Yeah, but it was essentially attached to an M1 Garand, or just... I think you could attach it to most rifles. But you would just fire a blank into it, and then it would launch the... Yeah, adapted discharger cartridges were what they were called. But yeah, then you would fire the round and launch a grenade.
Wow.
So interesting how early grenade launchers worked.
Yeah. The grenade rifle was very effective.
Yeah, it was. It was very effective, and it was so effective that multiple countries started buying them, and it became like pretty common for almost every country to have a rifle grenade. All right. Next on the list, what are you thinking?
Big old scope.
Big ol' scope. Okay. So this one is actually really interesting. It has a super cool name. I won't spoil it yet. But I want you to guess what it does.
Well, I want to assume the first part of the scope is just a regular old scope.
Slightly, yes.
But the other part's got to do something else. I also see like some hoses hooked up to it. Was it like? And see, it's hooked up to a machine. I want to say like maybe it picked up noise.
Nope.
Maybe film recorder.
Nope.
Okay, I'm completely baffled.
So this is the German vampire site. It is an active infrared device developed for the Wehrmacht for the Sturmgewehr 44, intended primarily for night use. But the issue was that the scope itself weighed 5 pounds. And the battery pack to keep it running for half an hour was 30 pounds.
Oh.
So on top of your already heavy gear, your ammo, your supplies, your armor, all of that, you also have this 30-pound battery and a 5-pound scope on your gun. And it only works at night.
Jeez. Well, that's interesting. That's like literally like you're staying in one position. You plan on staying at that position.
Right. But yeah, so this is, yeah. Well, what does chat have to say?
Well, first off, they said they give us a hint that we use it today, which, yeah, we use night vision today. You might as well be carrying a semi-auto LMG at that point. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was pretty nuts. Also, sorry about that horrible noise. I was trying to take my shoes off quietly, but I guess we're gonna have to be loud about it. Ugh.
The scope is very interesting. That is.
Yeah, yeah. So this thing was a very unique rifle on a very unique scope. Well, not the. I mean, the rifle wasn't unique. The rifle is just an STG-44, but.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Spidey. I think you've only got a couple left.
I've only got 3.
You only got 3 left. Yeah, I think it's these 3.
Yeah, let's do the one with the barrel that's sticking up.
This one?
Yeah. Although I've seen a bit of that one.
Yes, you have seen this before.
It's in Battlefield, isn't it?
Yes, but it is not this gun that's in Battlefield. Or at least Battlefield 1.
And is this a German gun?
No, it is not.
It's not, okay.
I honestly don't think you'll ever be able to guess where this gun is from.
Japan?
Nope.
Really? Huh.
Though the Japanese did make a knockoff of this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because the Japanese did use something similar. Okay. I've seen like a documentary or something on this. I know I have. Okay, enlighten me.
Okay, so this one isn't necessarily a wacky weapon. This is actually a pretty common design back in the day. But this is the Australian Owen gun.
Australian Owen gun.
So
Wait a minute. There's one of the the Monster Hunter book series I tell you a lot about. The character was named after this gun.
Oh, that's cool. That's actually pretty neat.
Owen's to stop a pit, and like he always gives his dad crap because he's like, my dad had to use this stupid Australian gun that he really liked, or that was really crappy, but it saved the life of him and some men, and so he was named his son after it.
Owen guns on a truck during a Christmas parade in Sydney? What, could you just go get one? Dog, that'd be so cool.
Go up to the truck and grab one.
Yeah, you just grab an Owen gun. But yeah, no, so this is an Owen gun, and they're very cool little firearms. Yeah, so obviously magazine goes out the top. What the heck's up with that? Well, the idea is that the sights are actually on the, I think it was made for on both the left and the right side.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, yeah, your sights would be off to the left or the right side of the gun, and these were surprisingly accurate. And these actually these were used by the Aussies for quite a while. Yeah, 30 years.
Dang.
Yeah, it was mainly used. It was seen more commonly in Vietnam, but yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Owen gun is very cool. It's out of all the guns with like weird magazine locations, the Owen gun is my favorite.
Huh. Cool.
All right, 2 left that look very similar.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look very similar. Let's go with the one that looks like someone grabbed a piece of aluminum and just cut it into a triangle, folded in there.
Okay,
Wait, is that a machete?
I want you to guess what this is.
It looks like a machete of some kind, and they just stuck it to a single shot.
Just guess what it is.
The gun looks familiar. I feel like I should know what the name of it is, but it's a type of like hunting rifle pistol, I think, and it looks like a machete that attaches to it. Maybe not a machete, but like some type of blade. And then you just had to hope you didn't cut yourself.
Okay, so yeah, you were actually pretty close. This is the Russian space shotgun, aka the TP-82. This is the triple barrel Soviet combination pistol carried by communists, carried by cosmonauts on space missions. It was intended as a survival aid to be used after landings and before recovery in the Siberian wilderness. So essentially, this is the kit you would get. So you would get the shotgun. That is a machete, by the way, and it has a backplate to stop you from cutting yourself. I think you were given like 20 rounds of ammunition, a couple flare rounds, and a couple birdshot rounds. But do you want to know why they originally gave this to the cosmonauts? The original reason was because they kept getting eaten by bears. So yeah, here it says the 2 upper shotgun barrels use a special 12.5 by 70 millimeter or 40 gauge, and the lower single rifled barrel used 5.45 by 39 ammunition developed for the AK-74 assault rifle. But yeah, so yeah, and this thing had become unusable, and that regular semi-automatic pistols would be used on further missions.
It was used in service for quite a while.
Yeah, 86 to 06, yeah. And, I mean, only 2.4 kilos with the stock? That's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
Because 2.4 kilos, you figure, what, that's like 5-ish pounds?
Yeah, just about. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the neat little Russian guns. I know that a lot of these are Russian, but... Alright, so on to the last one then, I suppose, eh?
Well, it is Russia. They come up with some pretty wacky stuff.
So first off, I mean, it's pretty obvious what this is.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you know, you can't really say much about it. It is a pistol with a stock.
Mm-hmm.
It's as basic as they come.
You can put stuff in the stock, maybe, though. Isn't this... Wait, was this used for people who are in planes for when they crash?
Possibly.
Okay.
I don't honestly remember.
Because this one looks really similar to the one in Battlefield, and it also seems like something they would do. Like, you get...
It is not the one in Battlefield.
I know, I just said it looked very similar.
Yeah. Or is it? No, it is not.
You see what the single screw I can turn a handgun into a rifle and also a felony. Exactly, chat. Yeah. You do be right.
That's a Russian Badger reference. I'm surprised you didn't get that, Riley.
Oh, I did.
You see, with this one screw, I can turn this regular handgun into a felony.
That's funny.
Because he's putting a stock on a pistol.
And now I remember where that was from. Like, I actually, remember everything from that, too. Okay. Well, okay. You gotta be able to put something in the stock there, because there's, like, a little button thing there. It looks like the butt comes off.
There were things inside the stock. Okay, so, I'll be honest with you. This isn't a crazy, wacky weapon. I threw it in last minute, I won't lie.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is the Stechkin APS. It's a Russian handgun, but the interesting thing is that it's automatic, and it's chambered in Makarov rounds, which is pretty neat.
Really?
Yeah, it was used by tank crews and aircraft personnel, like you were saying.
Oh, okay.
They didn't give them assault rifles because you didn't need an assault rifle. You know,
Yeah.
you were in a plane. If you crash, you're not gonna, like, there's a very small chance you're gonna crash, so you don't need to carry an assault rifle everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this, the APS, the Stetchkin APS, is a machine pistol, and it is still in use, and it was designed in 1951.
Ow.
Yeah,
That's
so here's a more modern version with a wire stock and a silencer, and then you've got a more modern unmodified version, and then a classic Stetchkin with the wooden furniture.
Wow.
Yeah.
Chat says, but it is true if you don't have the right paperwork and you put a stock on a handgun, that can become a felon.
Yeah.
Good tip. Good tip.
No, that's why you don't do that. Like,
Yeah.
you check your state laws when you do stuff like that. You check your state laws. Be a responsible gun owner. Buy trigger locks. Keep your guns in a safe. Unless it's a self-defense firearm, but even then, like, keep it in a place where it's not just out in the open. I know that I display all my airsoft guns, but it's because they're just that, airsoft guns. I don't display any of my real guns. They're locked away, secure. Sorry,
Alright.
that was my rant on gun safety.
You're good.
Yeah,
What
is there
else
is there
there?
anything else you want to talk about? Maybe we could go on a rant about gun safety. You want to talk about gun safety?
Well, I might want to go get some dinner in a bit here.
You want to edit the Wikipedia article?
Yes, everything here is wrong, obviously.
Just delete the entire article. That'd be so mean.
It's actually really funny. Dad texted me right as we started this and said, dinner's ready.
Oof.
You leech. You've got to be kidding me.
Well, I think that was a good first podcast.
Yep.
How do you feel, Riley?
I feel pretty good about it. I thought that was a pretty interesting topic. And
Right.
the next topic will be just as interesting. I do think we need to have a bit more of a rant. Find something we can really rant.
Yes,
about.
yes. You're right. So, chat, if you have any topics that maybe you guys would like to hear about, if we find something interesting in there, we will definitely pick it up because, yeah, I mean, yes, we were able to talk about this, but it's not really something we could rant about. And I don't want to. Me and Riley can talk back and forth on politics for hours, but I don't want to get political. I want it to just be, you know.
We don't want to get political on here. But this was very interesting. I think I might stream some more.
Yeah, I think we'll be back. Would you be willing to play some Valheim?
We can do Valheim. I was gonna do.
Let's do some
Fallout 3,
Valheim.
but we can do Valheim. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna end the recording.